Hello and welcome to True Guidance Tarot. I'm Adriana Teodoro-Dier. I'm a spiritual medium and intuitive card reader. And today I have a message for the water signs, several messages actually. And I am so excited to share these with you. I just really love doing these weekly readings. And what we're going to do is a general message for all the water signs. So this is for Pisces, Scorpio, and Cancer. So this is just kind of it's like your weekly theme reading, and then at the end I will do individual readings for each sign. So even if I'm not talking about your sign, I encourage you to stay for the whole reading, because I tried this new last week for the first time and I was really surprised how much relevance there was in each particular reading. So I have some air sign influence on my chart. I also have water and a lot of earth. But when I listened to all the air, each one had a special message. So I encourage you to stay for the whole thing if you have the time. So let's get straight down to your message. It's really interesting. We have the Eight of Cups for the energy around you. Now, if you look at the imagery of this card, she's diving to the bottom of the ocean, and all of these cups are falling with her. However, you respond to this energy with the Eight of Wands, so another eight, but the opposite direction. So you see how these flowers, she's blowing these flower seeds up. So even though you're dropping some things behind, you're sending seeds out for the future. So what does that mean in practical, real terms? So the Eight of Cups has to do with a moment of extreme sadness and discontent leading to a moment of real, authentic reflection where you're like, you know what, this really cannot keep going the way it is. Something really needs to change. And so you're willing to go within, you're willing to find what is that little linchpin that needs to be kind of tweaked a little bit. And you really find your answer. Those of you that are taking the time to really look inside, you're really finding your answer, and it has you feeling very optimistic for the future. Now, when I say you find your answer, what I mean is that you figure out your long-term direction. You're like, okay, that wasn't working, but this is the way we need to go. And because of some cards that are coming up in a second, this is pertaining to relationships, particularly your relationship with yourself. And that is the root of all your relationships with everyone else. And so that's really the most important one, although we tend to think other relationships are more important than that one. But this is really a moment of intense self-reflection, but I'm so happy and proud that you're treating it with optimism and hope rather than the normal, like, being overwhelmed with sadness and disappointment that can happen to water signs when you get a little too introspective, right? So let's look at your advice. So we've got the relationship card, the Two of Cups, we've got the Seven of Cups, and we have the King of Pentacles. King of Pentacles talks about, let me keep these up. The King of Pentacles talks about a solid foundation, making solid choices that ensure growth, ensure security, and ensure stability. And this card does exactly the opposite. The Seven of Cups is all about head in the clouds, fantasies in the air. So what they're saying is, you've got your long-term direction. You found out what was making you unhappy. You figured out your long-term direction, but you really need to make sure that you're taking care of the details of putting your plan into action. Because you're kind of like, yeah, I got a map. I don't know if you can see, he's actually holding a map. You're kind of like, yeah, I got a map. I know where I'm going, and I'm just going to blindly go. I'm just going to blindly go that direction. And you haven't actually sat there and thought, practically, what does this mean? So okay, let's talk about practically what does this mean. Are you sitting there saying, okay, I need to schedule some alone time for myself? You take out your planner and you look for those moments where you can figure out space for yourself. Or you're saying, you know what, I'm doing too much of this responsibility. That means you sit down with your significant other. For some reason, I've got childcare in my head, like taking kids to activities. What is that thing called? Taking kids to activities, and you're like, you know what, I'm doing too much of this. So are you taking the time to sit down with the person either with whom you share these responsibilities with, or with whom you could share more responsibilities? And are you really sitting and figuring this out? Are you doing too much housework? Doing too many chores? Are you, what's the word where you delegating? Are you delegating this out? So doing these kind of mundane sitting down going through, and you're like, yeah, but I don't want to do that. I have this beautiful direction where I'm going, and I know there's going to be rainbows and there might be unicorns for some of us, and you're just kind of like, yeah, I have faith, I'll get there. But these cards are saying, yeah, but you're going to get there one step at a time. The unicorn hasn't grown his wings yet. He can't just fly over there. You need to take one step at a time. So that's kind of your general message for the week. I'm going to take a pause for a second because I'm going to have to reconnect with them while we do your live readings for the other cards. While I'm kind of getting my head changed around, I just wanted to mention that I am offering one-on-one readings through my website, and they're of course remote through Skype or Zoom, and they're very, very different than the readings that you get every week with me with these weekly readings, mostly because I am reading for a collective and for kind of specific random people that I may not know or may not really know who I'm tuning into. But when we do a one-on-one reading, it's just, first of all, I love it because I just love doing the cards for people, but you get so much benefit of this energy just focused on you with tools that really help you heal yourself. So it's really readings that empower you in so many different areas of your life. So just wanted to mention that because I am available if this is calling out to you. But let's get to I have no idea what order we're going to do these in. Well, they're saying Cancer first, so let's get some message for the Cancer. Try to shuffle up here. I know it's kind of boring just to watch my face. Okay, 3 cards. That's interesting. I was thinking so much about this card when I was in the shower before, and here it is for you. So we've got the Ace of Swords, we have the Queen of Wands, and then we have the Star. And I know exactly what they're saying because we were just talking about this in the shower. We are talking about forgiving someone. We are talking about deciding to forgive. They're saying a female friend. And because it's showing up as a wand, this is someone who presents like a fire sign. So has Aries energy, has Leo energy, has Sagittarius energy. Now, you notice I didn't say they're a Sagittarius sun. I'm saying someone who presents with the energy of fire. So someone who's very active, someone who's very confident and cheerful and outgoing, charismatic, tendency to be a bit selfish, but very independent and upbeat. There's some forgiveness that needs to happen, and you need to make some decisions within yourself. You need to decide. And I think a lot of you are going to decide to forgive this person because it's blocking the flow, and it's blocking you from, they're saying it's blocking you from nurturing a deeper relationship with this person. It's kind of like there was a surface kind of misunderstanding where things didn't really, it's like they kind of went for a moment. There was this weird dissonance. It kind of grated. Like when you scrape your, I do this a little too often, but you scrape your tire against the curb, the thing in the middle, the hubcap, you scrape that against the curb and it goes. So that's what it happened in the kind of cogs of this relationship. So it's time to open your heart again to this person. And this is something that you will need to follow through with, but I do feel like you're going to, because you see how protective these swans are of the sword. That means that this is an important decision to you, and you are really, really, this is not something that you're just deciding on the fly. This is a deeply important decision to you because you recognize how important this friendship is. So Cancers, I wish you luck with that. Let's move on to, are we Pisces or Scorpio? Pisces. Okay. They want 4. You guys get 4. Yeah, I don't know about this pulling the cards up to shuffle. It kind of, I think I need longer arms. Okay. Oh boy. Oh boy. Well, I am envious of you guys. All right, we've got Page of Pentacles, we have the Sun, we have the King of Cups, and we have the Hermit. So I'm just kind of blown away by all these cards. Let me think for a second where they're going with this. Okay, you're being encouraged to find a higher expression of a relationship with your father figure. So, what does that mean? That means going away from need. And I know I am talking to Pisces, and I know this is not a comfortable concept to talk about, but a lot of the Pisces a lot of the lower octave Pisces interactions tend to be based on need because you either need to feel needed or you need to feel that they need you. But your soul is asking you to look for a higher kind of relationship with this father figure, one that is really deeply based on mutual compassion, mutual giving and receiving, and trusting that that other person is there. The reason for the neediness is because sometimes there isn't enough trust. They're saying you can absolutely trust this person. That's the sun shining on our King of Cups, which is that father figure I'm talking about. I'm getting this Page of Pentacles because for some of you, this does represent you. The page, you're learning how to do this deeper trust of the father figure. You're learning how to make progress and how to grow. Really in the end spiritually, because we've got the Hermit questing after something bigger. So this earthly expression of a relationship that you have with your father is really the expression of the divine. So what do I mean by that? The divine is expressing itself through your relationship with the father. And the divine is oneness, it's wholeness, it's empathy, and it's the idea of unity, that we're all kind of in the same energy together. And so shifting this relationship with your father to understanding that it's not about need anymore, that you need to learn how to make this relationship based on something else, on commonality, on open heart, on gratitude, on more mature expressions of the word love. So that's really the journey that this has you going on. So rather than needing to be engaged with this person and having a list of all these things they need to do for you and vice versa, all these things you need to do for them, your guides are saying look higher. There's a higher expression of this that's having all this need is completely missing the point. You're not actually interacting with the person, with the soul. You're interacting with a list of things that you want them to do for you. So that's cutting you off from your own expression of the divine. So you're not only I'm kind of floaty here. You're not, there's you who is an expression of the divine. When you come at your relationships with all this need, you cut off that connection to the divine. And so you're not able to experience yourself as divine or the relationship as divine. But that's exactly what this relationship is it's a divine gift. This is a really awesome person, this Father of Cups, this King of Cups. He's nurturing, he's peaceful, he listens well, and he's there. You know, he's always present with you. Even when you feel like he's not, he is present. So there's something much more rich that you are being asked to learn about. And it just clicked for me. You've got two learning cards. I did mention the Page of Pentacles, but also the Hermit. So this is like student, this is teacher. So you're learning this relationship. This father is teaching you about a higher expression of love. Ooh, okay. Now let's do Scorpio, and that is going to be a completely different feeling energy than the first two. So how many cards? Okay, I'm going to do 3. 2 from the top, 1 from the bottom. Okay. All right, so, oh my, okay, all right. We have the 10 of Swords, we have the 9 of Swords, and we have the 3 of Cups. I'm just laughing hysterically. It just hit me what this means. Okay, so we're talking about social groups. We're talking about the way you are with other people. We're talking about your willingness to commune with others to become one. I love this card because they're 3 separate little mermaids, but they have this pearl that they're sharing with each other. So we're talking about like-minded people. We're talking about your tribe, your soul family. Now, I'm just laughing. We've got the 10 of Swords and the 9 of Swords on the side. So in the past, you haven't been able to connect deeply with that soul family, with that tribe, with those people that get you. And it's caused you a lot of heartache. There's been a lot of backstabbing because they weren't the right group of people. But you made a decision that enough is enough. My association with that group of people, my identification, who I am, that's over. I'm done. So this card is kind of a relief when it shows up, because it means that the hardship is over. The backstabbing, the backbiting, the backstabbing just keeps coming in over and over. It's done. You're no longer needing to you're no longer needing to offer yourself up as some kind of sacrificial lamb to be stabbed anymore. Like, we're done. So, but now the interesting thing is, you have this group of people, you have this group of souls that are waiting to embrace you, waiting to welcome you in, waiting to give you the best parts of themselves, and you're worried about it. You're like, oh no, but what if that's really not true? Or what if those really aren't my people? And why can't I, why don't I really want to participate with them? You don't want to give and flow with them. You don't want to give and receive with them because you're worried. And it's just in your mind. Your Scorpio, your water should be telling you you're already connected to these people. You already feel a vibe with them. You already feel at one with them. But your mind is like, yeah, but not. What if that's not right? What if that's not right again? And the problem is here you were flying high, but you fell down. All these people stabbed you so much that you fell down, and now you're afraid to fly again. You see, he's on the ground, and he knows that he should be up here because he's got these lovely white angel-y wings, but he's scared to fly because he's scared of what's going to happen when he goes up again. But these people are of your element. They are of the water. Scorpio is our water sign. And so, of course, this is the water sign reading. Hello. They are of your element. You don't have to fly up into the sky to meet them. They're already like in your soul. Your soul already knows them. They already are part of you. They already are you in a sense. So there's no separation. There's no cutting. There's no swords anymore. They already embrace you. They already see you and recognize you as one of your own. So it's kind of like, I read this one particular story of the ugly duckling, and he's really a swan, but he's been ostracized and attacked and abused so much by these other ducks and cats and people and farmers' wives that when he does meet the swans and they really embrace him into their group and they nod to him because he's so big and beautiful, he's kind of like, what's going on? Why do these beautiful things love me? And he's got like this outsider complex, like, because he sees himself as the ugly duckling. But now it's time to see yourself as a beautiful swan, or on this card, a beautiful mermaid. You're already swimming in those waters with your people. So let go of these things because it's really good. So wow, that was a long video. So I really enjoyed doing that. Thanks so much for joining me. If you're still here, please like and subscribe and comment if you feel like it. And I'll see you next time.